Well, I don't really care enough to get my mic set up, even though it's like super easy and doesn't take much effort. But I've been up for almost 24 hours, almost 24 hours. So give me some slack, yo. Um, I got in my Airbnb. We in Japan. Wow, look at that, pretty swanky. Um, they did a drop off service, which is also pretty swanky. Whoops, I didn't mean to get that close. Sorry. Um, I'm just really tired right now. And my head hurts, and I'm jet lagged. So I got my water, and I got a rice ball. I'm just sitting here waiting for Chromacopia. Let's go! Actually, before that, let me give you a quick MTV crib tour. Um, what's up, guys? Um, today, um, I'm my Airbnb. I'm not gonna be too loud, actually. But look, it's got a little kitchen, little front area. I was a little confused earlier because, um, I looked in the bathroom. I left the toilet seat up. Don't. I entered the bathroom and there was no light switch on the wall. So I was like, "Am I gonna be butt booty ass naked in the dark?" But thankfully, they're just on the outside. I forgot about that. Voila. And then it's the main part. I got my laptop and green tea. I drank so much green tea on the flight, so I'm probably not gonna drink that right now. Um, but yeah. And I got my onigiri. Got a little TV. Don't ignore all that. I'm very tired right now. Did I mention that earlier? Um, the bed, the AC. Woo, we're living lav. I just hit the mic. We're living lavish. Let's go. Level 10 curry.
It's spicy. It's a really
10 minutes in, how are we feeling?
We're feeling some regret. I feel a lot in my mouth. Not a lot of thinking can be done right now. Just experiencing. It's putting me in the moment. I'm living in the moment.
Hey everybody, it's Bee Sneeze. You're going to be hearing that a lot because I recorded a couple different times throughout the trip. Not as much as I wanted to, but and you're going to see a lot of different hairstyles and facial hair. So bear with me, but I'm finally recording. It's May 10th as of recording this right now, and I got back December 5th, so this has been a long time coming, but I've wanted it to be really perfect, and I've just procrastinated on it, and I'm just kind of getting it done. So first off, I landed in Tokyo. The flight was better than the last one I did to Japan because I just did a straight flight, so I was only up for like 26 hours this time, I think. I had to stay up for Chromacopia. It came out at night when I was in Japan, which was kind of cool. I think it was like 7 p.m. there or something. And it came on the morning here, so it was kind of perfect actually. But it was really cool, and I ended up listening to it. I was not in the right state of mind to listen to it because I was very tired and jet lagged, but I ended up sleeping for like 4 hours that night. It was awful. I didn't get very good sleep. The very next day, I ended up having to go from Narita to Shinjuku with all my bags on the busy trains. It was horrible. And I was very tired that day. I remember looking at my watch. I think I had it. My watch told me I had like 90 minutes exercise. I moved like 1,200, like whatever units they use. It was rough. I was so tired the next day. The first few days were rough, especially because I ended up deciding to get a vaccine the very first full day I was in Japan. So I went to the Shinjuku hospital, and there was English-speaking people there, but not many. So I had to use some Google Translate. I knew a little bit of Japanese, but not hospital Japanese. I didn't know the word for encephalitis. I think it actually is just like encephalitis in katakana, but yeah, I got the vaccine. I felt like garbage the first like 3 days I was there. I didn't do a whole ton. I took some dope pictures, but I ended up going to my second full day. I ended up going to Yokohama. I went to Yokohama my second full day. I still felt kind of off, and I thought I was like genuinely getting sick because my smell was really off, and I was fine though. I forgot to mention as of getting to Narita, my Airbnb offered a pickup service from the airport, which was really cool. It was free. It was a little sketchy, and anywhere else I'd feel really uncomfortable doing it because I got off the plane and I got through customs super quick. And as of getting there, they messaged me on the Airbnb and they're like, "Oh, when are you getting here?" And I messaged them. I'm like, "Oh, I just landed." And I waited a little bit, but not too long, and they ended up pulling up, and they were like, "Oh, we're here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And some dude just pulled up in a van and was like, "Oh, are you Sam?" I'm like, "Yep." And I just got in. I was too tired to, like, I probably should have been a little more careful, but yeah, it was a little sketchy. But I didn't die, spoiler alert, and that was fun. So Narita, I didn't stay very long, but yeah, and then Jason, my friend who you saw in a previous clip eating the curry, I met up with him. We've been friends since 7th grade, so it was really nice to see a familiar face because the first few days were pretty rough, and I'm so grateful that he was able to come out and hang out with me. We ended up going to the Sky Tree. We ended up going to Asakusa. I'll throw some pictures up. We got some more curry. I got a lot of curry on this trip. Cocoa curry was clutch. We ended up going to Shimokitazawa with a couple of his friends. We went to like a live bar that his friend used to work at. We went to a ton of different places, so that was really fun. I'll throw a ton of pictures up. We went to Yoyogi Park. We went to this really cute cafe, and it was just nice. I ended up meeting with my friend Miho, who I met at a Trico concert back in 2023 in the summer. And so we got some sushi, went to a cafe, did karaoke. It was raining the entire time, so we got rained on very hard, but it was still a lot of fun. That was kind of the end of my first leg of Tokyo, and then Jason and I parted ways. I ended up meeting someone in Shimokitazawa when we went the first time. Shimokitazawa, by the way, is like my favorite place in the world. We just met this person playing Neutral Milk Hotel on the side of the street. I was like, "Oh my god, is that Neutral Milk Hotel?" And we turned around and they were like, "Oh my god, yeah, that is." And we just listened to them play Neutral Milk Hotel for a bit. We ended up hanging out the very next day when Jason left, and it was really cool. We got burgers. We hung out in a park for a little bit. And yeah, that was the first leg of Tokyo. I ended up coming back later, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So I'll see you guys then. It got real after this because after Tokyo, I went right to Hakodate as like a halfway between Tokyo and Sapporo, because that is a huge trip unless you fly, which I, in retrospect, probably should have done. Hakodate, I was really excited about going into it, but I didn't do nearly enough research, and when I went, I think it was a holiday. But even then, the entire city was dead. Like, there was nobody. And to go from Tokyo being the largest city in the world, the most populous, like, and then to go to Hakodate, where I counted like 3 people each street, maybe. Yeah, that was an adjustment for sure. There was I struggled to find restaurants that were open near me. The Airbnb I booked was in a really weird location, but like literally everywhere I went in Hakodate, I tried to find like a main square. I couldn't find it. Usually the area by the station's pretty well built up, but no. It was nuts. It was really insane. And yeah, I the only restaurant open near me that wasn't a 7-Eleven was this Lucky Perot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm gonna throw it up here. It was literally a clown restaurant, like spooky, scary, ridiculous. I don't want to walk in there. Would you want to walk in there? I don't think so. So yeah, I'm not trying to end up on some horror movie. So I ended up going to 7-Eleven. I got Eclair. I think I got an Eclair, ham sandwich, Sapporo beer, because I'm in Hokkaido, so when in Rome, and some rice crackers, and that was my dinner that night, and it was actually not bad. But needless to say, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see about going to Sapporo a little early, and I did. So the very next morning, I actually planned 2 days in Hakodate. The day I landed, the day I arrived, and then I had an extra day where I could explore the city and then leave later for Sapporo, I guess. But yeah, no, I was good. I couldn't find anything. Everything was closed or run down. I ended up going to another hotel because the Airbnb I stayed at was like kind of dingy. It was strange. So yeah, I not a huge fan of Hakodate. I'll throw some other pictures up here. It was just like really gray and dreary. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if you're solo traveling personally, or even with another person. The whole reason I wanted to go was this like mountain tram thing, and that was closed, so sick. So yeah, Hakodate, not all that it's cracked up to be. On to Sapporo. Different day, different shirt. Sapporo was one of my favorite cities, which I feel like I'll say that about a lot, but it was, I'd say overall, probably top 3 on this trip. But you would probably not figure that based off how it started. I got to Sapporo from Hakodate early. I had to find a like last minute Airbnb, and fun fact, Sapporo in November, really cold. A lot colder than Tokyo. So I immediately went from Tokyo, which like every day was like 60-50 degrees, and then the Sapporo, which was like 20 to 30. So that was an adjustment, and thankfully I am from the Midwest and it gets really cold, so I came kind of prepared, but it was like a really, you'll see it in some of the pictures I post, but it was a really thin jacket, and it helped, but not a lot. And yeah, the very first full day I got in Sapporo, I got to my Airbnb, the heat barely worked, so it was very cold, and I remember like going to bed like, oh my god, I'm gonna get hypothermia. Didn't, fun fact, but it was still very cold. The very next day I woke up and I showered and I went out and I looked outside and it snowed. What? It snowed. So yeah, that was an adjustment, and it kind of ixnayed my entire plan that day, really. So I didn't do much because I was just too busy being cold, and it was rough. The last few days were really rough, and that day was also rough. The good part is the next day, I believe, I met up with my friend who I met online, and her and I got food, and then the next day we went to Mount Moiwa, and it was really fun. She's really cool. She's watched some of my videos since then, so hopefully she's watching this one too. So hello. Yeah, that was super fun. And then the next day after that, the weather got relatively better to where I wasn't like completely dying, because when we went to the mountain it was cold, and I remember she was not well prepared at all, and I was like, are you good? Thankfully it wasn't all outside. I was expecting it to be like bad, but the only part was bad was like the peak, and the peak was really cool. The peak of Mount Moyo was really cool. We took cool pictures. It was at night, very, very sick. It was a busy day, and then the next day I did the most touristy stuff. I went to like the main touristy places. I'll throw some pictures up. But yeah, Sapporo, really cool vibe to the city. Definitely recommend going in the winter as long as you don't hate winter weather. Come prepared, definitely come prepared. I did not come prepared enough. I apparently got their first snow too, which was sick. In the back of my head, I was hoping like, wouldn't it be so cool if it snowed in Sapporo? But then when it happened, I was like, oh, this is less cool than I thought it'd be. But yeah, still really cool. New shirt, new city. Kanazawa was one of my favorites easily. If it weren't for Tokyo and Tokyo being so vast, I would say Kanazawa was my favorite in total. I think I would rather, I don't know, like, I love Kanazawa and Tokyo so much. There were a couple bakeries that I loved. The overall vibe of Kanazawa was really dope. It was a lot less busy than Kyoto, which I am a big fan of. Not many people are super familiar, and I kind of want to keep it to myself, but Kanazawa was really dope. I'll throw a ton of pictures up because Kanazawa was easily the most photogenic city I went to, surprisingly. I guess not so surprisingly, but it was incredible everywhere I went, especially during the fall. It was so beautiful. The food was really cool. The downtown area was actually really nice. I went to a couple of different CD shops. The morning market was really dope. There was a castle park that was really cool. Like there was a city part, but there was also so many cool little like parks you could walk through. I walked up this like entire mountain, and there was like this museum I'll throw a picture up of. I went to this bakery literally every single day. I went to Starbucks every single day, as I've talked about in past little snippets. But yeah, it was incredible. I highly recommend Kanazawa. It's a little bit of a pain to get to because no Shinkansen. I mean, there's a Shinkansen from Tokyo, but I went from Sapporo to Aomori to Tokyo, or no, it was like Saitama, and then from Saitama all the way up to Kanazawa. So I actually went to like 3 cities in one day. It was nuts. Aomori was really cool too, but yeah, Kanazawa I highly recommend anybody. I think it's incredible. I ended up seeing Ichiko Alba in Kanazawa at the Kanazawa Art Hall, I believe, and that was really cool. She's been on my bucket list forever, and she was as incredible as anyone will tell you she is. One of the greatest musical performers I think active right now. I would highly recommend, even if you're not a huge fan. Like, I'm not the biggest Ichiko Alba fan in the world. I'm just not like in that mood a lot. But she's incredible, and if you can go to see her, you will get goosebumps no matter what. It's just the chillest show you've ever been to, and I'm really grateful I got to see her in Kanazawa because the entire concert, the crowd was just silent, and I feel like if I saw her here, that wouldn't be the case. So yeah, it was incredible. I met a really cool friend that I'm still in touch with now, Jerome. Yeah, that was really dope, and really love Kanazawa. Super dope. I took so many pictures. I might just throw them up throughout this and you won't even see my face because there's that many pictures. But yeah, 10 out of 10 city. Amazing. Would recommend to anybody. And there's a Moron Cafe, so you gotta go there. I didn't go there, but you gotta go there. Next up was technically Nagoya, but it was actually Osaka. I was kind of an idiot when I did this because I planned to go to Nagoya for like 5 days. And anyone will tell you that Nagoya isn't like necessarily a tourist attraction, but I was like, Nagoya sounds sick. It's like I think it's the second largest and most populous city in Japan. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's at least the largest. I don't know if Osaka is more populous, but it's big. But I got there and I realized my hotel was like an hour walk away, or my Airbnb was like an hour walk away. So I was like, okay, I'll just take the bus. I then realized that my phone service just decided to stop, and I didn't realize until later that was because I used up all of my data, even though it was technically unlimited, it wasn't. And they just didn't tell me. So I was stuck in the middle of Nagoya with no service, and I took the wrong bus, and I was like, F it, I'm gonna find a Lawson's, get some sort of service or some sort of Wi-Fi, load up my map, and just follow it. And luckily it was kind of a straight line, and I ended up getting there. Um, but at this point I was like, oh my god, this is like so far out of the way. It's so far away from I was gonna see Bet Cover a couple days later. It was so far from the venue, so far from the main city. And I actually really liked the area. It was just really out of the way. So I was like, I'm gonna look at, like, because I still had a good amount of money extra. So I was like, I'm gonna look at getting a hotel. And so I stupidest move I've ever made on a trip ever. I canceled my Airbnb without even looking at other hotels, and I quickly found out somehow there were no hotels in the area available. And so I was like, okay, shoot, I have a place to stay for the night, but I'm just out of luck, I guess. So I panicked and I just was like, oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna go to Osaka because it's like kind of close. And so at like 2 p.m. I booked a Shinkansen to Osaka, and got a hotel. And fun fact, Appa hotels are garbage, like genuinely garbage. Like they're fine in a pinch, but oh my god, especially during the winter or the fall when it's cold, they have central heating on and every room is a furnace, and you can't turn the cooling on because everything is central. It's so garbage. Don't. And I guess I was staying in Osaka for longer because I only planned on staying in Osaka for like 2 or 3 days, but it ended up just being a week. And it was the hardest week. Osaka has moved so further down my list now of cities, and I think it was just because it was a stressful time, and it like threw my plans off, and I was just like, ugh. And the hotel I was staying at, I just could not get good sleep for the life of me, so I was just always like in a bad mood, and it was rough, but it was fine. I didn't do much that entire week, honestly. Other than seeing Bet Cover, which was incredible. That was fantastic. I will talk about that later, but my Osaka stay, I didn't do anything. I bought some CDs. I went downtown Osaka. Thankfully I was really close to Shin Osaka station, so I literally like every morning walked inside the station, got Starbucks, and then I was like a 5-minute train ride away from Osaka. Like I think it's I forget what the main area is, but I was close to everything, so it was fine. But it was just too busy for me, and unless I'm with somebody, I don't like being in big crowds. It's just, I don't know. Like I'm fine at concerts. It's just like when I'm in a city and there's so many people, I was just like getting overwhelmed, and at the night it was horrible. Like America Moro was so busy, and it was just like I couldn't even enjoy it because there was just too many people. But yeah, Osaka was rough. So the first half of it I stayed in a hotel by Shin Osaka, and then the second half I booked an Airbnb well in advance for my 3 days. I initially planned on staying in Osaka, but I did not realize when booking it that I booked in the largest slum in Japan, which, to be fair, is like a utopia compared to like bad areas in America or whatever. But it's still a little rough and not ideally where you want to stay. Not a good vacation spot. I stayed like right south of the biggest red light district probably in Japan, I want to say. I guess in Tokyo it's a little bit bigger, but I don't know. I think Osaka might be the biggest. Not exactly where you want to stay. Not the greatest area. I witnessed several people just pissing in the street. Yeah, that was my introduction to that area, and I was like, oh my god, I can't go out past like 9 p.m. I mean, I'm not worried about getting mugged, but I remember like walking there, I took a wrong way, and I walked through part of the red light district, and there was like, I'm not trying to like, you know, generalize or stereotype, but there were people who looked like they were straight out of the Yakuza game. I'm not joking. Like they had the jackets, they had everything, they had the dyed hair. I was like, I've watched Tokyo Revengers, all right. But so that was unnerving a little bit. The area I was in was not great. It was just, and they want to host the Olympics. Right? What? So Osaka's great if you're with people. It's awesome that if you stay in the right areas, it's great. Just like when you book an Airbnb or hotel, check the location. Another idiot move. This was by far the roughest stretch for me. Everything else went pretty smoothly, I'd say. But yeah, Osaka was rough. Osaka was really rough. Now we're back. Nagoya was awesome. I love Nagoya. Other than that, like, half a day I spent in Nagoya where I had no service, Nagoya was really sick. I would absolutely stay there. I didn't actually. I spent, I think, 3 total days in Nagoya, because one of the days in Osaka, well, no, it was 2, because I went there for bet cover. I got there really early, so I explored a lot. I got Torikizoku again for like the umpteenth time on my trip. No, it was 3 times. It was 3 times, because I got there for the half day, and then I went to see bet cover, and then I saw my friend later. So I'll get into that. But the bet cover show was seriously one of my favorite concerts I've ever seen in my life. I have videos. I was worried I wasn't gonna be able to take videos, because in the past, the 2 other concerts I went, or 3 other concerts I went to, only one of them I was able to take pictures, and I don't even know if I was supposed to. But this one, I like read the room, and I saw other people taking videos, so I was like, sick. So I recorded a ton, and that was really dope. That cover was sick. It was a one-man show. There was no opener. I don't know if that's customary for Japan. I don't know if that's just like me putting my American, like, I don't know. But they were incredible. They put on such a live show, such a good live show. Jiro was fantastic, and he was fantastic live. I didn't know how it was going to translate, but he is such an incredible singer, and bro. I recommend seeing that cover if you can. I don't think they've ever come to the States, but if they ever do, best believe I'm first in line. I don't know how many people know them over here. I feel like it's a little niche. If you're into Japanese music, you've definitely heard of them, I feel. I think Jordy Griep actually like met up with him or something. They have a picture, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm a big Jordy Griep fan, and I'm a big Bet Cover fan. I remember when Bet Cover was first like really coming onto the scene, they got a lot of comparisons to Black Midi. I kind of see it, but I don't know. They're different enough, I feel, but they're really cool. And I also, the concert aside, I really loved Nagoya. I thought Nagoya was really cool city. I loved that little like main city area, and I went to another CD store, shocker, Disc Union, MVP, and I just liked the area. It was really cool. And even the area I was in the half day where I had to walk a lot, I loved the residential areas. They were very clean and very nice. It just seemed like a nice place to raise a family. I'd say like Tokyo is nice when, like, for me, because I'm like in my 20s, my early mid 20s, and I just am naturally drawn to Tokyo because of the nightlife or the music. Like Shimokitazawa is, you know, obviously very geared towards me. But if I were to ever look into moving there and raising a family, I'd say like Kanazawa and Nagoya are really great cities. Yeah. And then the third time I was in Nagoya, I met up with a friend, and we hung out. We went to an arcade, and she was super cool. So another great friend I met in Japan. So yeah, Nagoya was really sick. Next up was Kyoto. I finally met up with my dad, and we explored. We were only there for 2 days. He landed and immediately went to Kyoto, and then we slept. And the hotel we were in wasn't great, actually, because they just recently changed ownership, and I had a huge headache. I felt like garbage in the morning, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" and I looked in the air conditioner, and there was mold everywhere, and I was like, that'll do it, that'll do it. So yeah, that was not ideal, and we ended up switching hotels to a much nicer one, and the rest of that didn't really detract from the trip at all. Our Kyoto trip was really fun. We did a lot of the like main touristy stuff, and did a lot of shopping in the shopping areas, and then we ended up going to the main temples and stuff like that. And then we would like Tokyo Museo, obviously all of that. I'll throw pictures up, and then I ended up going on the Thousand Torii Gates trail, and that was insane. The Fushimi Inari, that was, oh my gosh. I ended up listening to Sweet Trip and just walking through, and that album holds so much more meaning to me now that I listened to it during that time. And yeah, Fushimi Inari, highly recommend. It was raining, so I had like my raincoat on, or like that coat that you saw earlier, and it worked great as a raincoat. And with the leaves changing, it was just so beautiful. Only thing I'll say about Fushimi Inari, was definitely a popular tourist destination. Everywhere in Kyoto is really, but the main part of the trail, there were so many people, and people just kept stopping in the middle of the trail to take pictures, and my god, it was so annoying. Like, move to the side or something. Oh my god, don't take 5 minutes and take up everybody's space, please. If you're going to Fushimi Inari, be mindful. But once I got past that, and I got further up, people were like, hell no, I ain't doing that. Which, fair. I was dead the next day, but I highly recommend it, and I took so many cool pictures, and I ended up getting Dragon Burger afterwards. Shout out Dragon Burger. There's a lot of really cool areas in Kyoto. There was like a entertainment district, I want to say, and that was really dope too. So I definitely recommend Kyoto. Obviously, it's a must. You need to go to Kyoto, you need to go to Osaka, you need to go to Tokyo your first trip. Like, those are the main three. So on to Hiroshima. Hiroshima was really cool. I stayed for about a week. I didn't do a whole lot because by this point in the trip I was just really tired. I wasn't really in the vibe to be a tourist anymore. At that point I had been there for about 30 days. Yeah, it was 30 days now. So I was just happy to be there. I wanted to see my friends who were in Hiroshima, and I did. And my dad was there for a little bit of it, and then he left, and I stayed in a shared common space room, which was actually really cool. I ended up making friends with the family that ran it. It was the guy who ran it, and then his mom and brother. And his mom and brother were usually in the common area, and I always ended up talking with them in very broken Japanese. But they were friendly, and they gave me these Kit Kats that I still have. They melted in my pocket, but I still have them, and I probably shouldn't because they're probably not good anymore, but they mean something to me, so, you know. But yeah, it was really dope. Hiroshima was really cool. I love Hiroshima. Hiroshima was just really good vibes. I was right by a udon place that had curry udon, and curry udon is probably my favorite, one of my favorite Japanese dishes, period. And it was nice to be with my dad for a little bit, and then see my friends for a little bit, but that was really it. I don't really have a lot to say about Hiroshima because I did my main touristy stuff the first time I went to Hiroshima. So yeah, Hiroshima was really dope, but though I really recommend it. I'm not doing it justice right now, but Hiroshima I would definitely absolutely recommend. Everyone's super nice there from my experience, and there's just a lot to do. Very cool. Shout out Roke, shout out Messiah. I will never see a bigger Tokyo Tower than that. Oh my god. And finally, I went to Tokyo for a couple more days at the end of my trip. It was like 3 or 4, I want to say. At this point in the trip, I was like, oh god, I leave soon. So then I got back into being like, alright, I gotta do everything. There were a couple of things on my bucket list for Tokyo that I had yet to do. I still hadn't seen Tokyo Tower up to that point. And I saw this video that Chris Broad did a while ago where he went on every stop on the Yamanote line, and it looked so pretty. and I did most of them. I like made a list of the main ones that I wanted to go to, because if I did everything, it would take forever. But I did a lot of them, and that was one of my favorite days of the trip. And I wanted to go to the McDonald's from Your Name. I didn't still. I went to a McDonald's, but I ended up not going to the, or maybe I went to it, but then I was like, I'll eat something and then go. I didn't really have anyone to take pictures of me, so. And then I went to a concert, like super last minute. I bought tickets, like literally like 3 hours before the concert, and I'm like, you know what? You only live once. Let's go. I was like feeling anxious because I was like, I was gonna go alone and blah 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 blah. But I went, and it was really dope. There were a lot of cool bands, and yeah, that was really dope. I'll throw some videos up of that, and yeah, I just tried to take it in as much as I could. Took a lot of cool pictures. Took a lot of yeah, it was really dope. And I stayed in Shimokitazawa the entire time in the Airbnb I stayed with a little previously that I absolutely loved. I loved the area, and it was kind of in between Shimokitazawa and another area that I'm blanking on the name of right now, but both areas were so fantastic, and definitely recommend the area. But yeah, it was about time for me to leave, and I woke up early-ish. It was like 8 in the morning. My flight, I think, was at 5, I think. So I woke up early, and I planned to get there like 3 hours early, and I did, like, exactly. But the thing I did not take into account was, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a taxi, because my dad and I took taxis around Kyoto, and it actually wasn't super expensive. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a taxi. But then I heard my dad say that they sometimes don't like that you have a ton of big bags, and I didn't want to be a bother, so I ended up being a bother on the main busy trains in rush hour. So the trains were delayed like by like 20 minutes, so I was thrown off, and I ended up like missing my train several times, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? I just want to get to the airport. Oh my god. So, and I had like a set ticket for the Narita Express, and it ended up being okay. I ended up making it well in time. I just wanted to be extra sure, so I took it, and the Narita Express, I ended up doing the luxury because it was like $10 more, and I'm like, you know what, it's my last my last day, why not? And it was really nice, actually. I'm glad to have the extra room. I was able to put my bags somewhere. I was like, man, I'm living lavish. And yeah, it was just it was a bittersweet feeling. That was when it started hitting me the most. I was like, man, I'm leaving, no. And then I ended up leaving. The flight back was pretty smooth. I was just really tired, and yeah, that was it. I was back. So that was it. It was a great trip. I'm so eternally grateful that I was able to do it. And a lot of people helped me get there, really. My grandma helped a lot. My mom was very helpful throughout the trip. My dad, just being my dad and introducing Japan to me at such a young age, and taking me to Japan the year before for my very late graduation gift. To do 40 days solo was definitely a lot. And if anyone has any questions on how to get there, I feel like I'm a pretty good source now after doing all that I did. So just do it if you have the opportunity to. It doesn't have to be super expensive. I honestly lived off of mostly convenience store, and like, so I didn't go to a lot of like expensive restaurants, and even the restaurants there aren't super expensive. So you can, like, food doesn't have to be expensive. It's mainly lodging, but even lodging isn't horrible if you do Airbnbs. And it's just the plane ticket mainly. That's the big thing. The plane ticket and Shinkansen, if you want to do that. Shinkansen was a big chunk of my trip because I did so many cities. I went literally almost the entire length of Japan. So if you don't want to do that, and you just want to stay, because next time I go, I'm probably just going to stick in Tokyo and maybe go to like Kanazawa and Hiroshima, and that's kind of it. Maybe do Osaka again because I want to, try again. But yeah, it was really dope, and yeah, I'm grateful to everyone I met on the trip, and I can't wait to go again. I love this country so much, and yeah, that's it. So thank you guys if you've made it this far. Oh my god, thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye. What's up, guys? It's B Sneeze. I'm uncomfortably holding my phone with my left hand because I did not bring my stand because I wasn't sure if I was able to get it through customs or something. I'm sure I would have been able to. I brought way too much stuff, and if I showed you what my place looks like right now, it's horrible. I have clothes hanging over there. Um, I got more clothes there. I have more clothes laying on the table drying. I have so many water bottles. I will show you the water bottles because it's kind of funny. Hold on. We're going to take a quick walk. It's hilarious. So, I don't know. So, for those unfamiliar, Japan is very, very particular with how they do trash, which is good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Um, but I don't know. They, I have one trash can, and then I have like one in the bathroom or something. So usually they separate like plastic bottles, cans, regular burnable trash. It's all very complicated. Um, so I put most of my trash in the trash can, as you know, but I'm a big water fiend, and so uh, yeah, this is how we're looking right now, and that's how it is. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but yeah, it's fine. We're fine. Um, so I'm a little over halfway through my trip now, and I haven't shot as many videos as I've wanted to. My hair is also a lot longer, and I am very unshaven because I haven't found a electric shaver that's reasonable. But thinking back, I found one at Don Quixote, a Philips one for like $70, or not $70, 7,000 yen, which is roughly like 55 dollars USD. So that's kind of reasonable. I don't want to have to buy a shaver on vacation. Like, what? Maybe I'll just grow it out. I'm gonna come back and look like a totally different person. My arm's already getting tired. Um, so hope my thumb doesn't show up. But it's been crazy. I just now, like maybe a couple days ago, finally got used to like being on my own. Kanazawa was really tight. I like Kanazawa a lot. I'll throw up some pictures. Um, but I really like it. There's a lot of cool areas. My only complaint, I have a couple complaints, but my main complaint is that is kind of hard to get around. Like, I guess, like, because I want to go to the ocean, but it's either I walk 2 hours, which I was going to try to do yesterday, and then I gave up because my knee started hurting. And then, or it's take a train and a bus for like 45 minutes, and then, like, or you could drive. So I could get a taxi, and that would be like 20 minutes, but taxis here are so ridiculously expensive. So just kind of decided to not because it's kind of bad. So I'm taking an easy day today. I've been wanting to study more, but like also I'm in Japan, so like I can study by literally going outside. I met a lot of cool people. That's been like the main thing of the trip, but I don't really want to talk about um, all that I've done. I want to make it a separate video, but it's been a trip. It's been a trip. I it's been awesome. I'm leaving Kanazawa in 2 days, so for Nagoya, and then I'm catching Bet Cover in Nagoya. So I'm super pumped. I saw Ichiko Alba a couple days ago, and that was super cool. I've already made a handful of friends. That's been really cool, and yeah, I'm just trying to live it up. But I've scheduled so many days. Well, I don't. I've scheduled. I've the opposite of scheduled days. I have nothing planned. I just kind of f around and find out. Um, and so far that hasn't done me too bad. Sapporo was really fun. But I've just I need to get better at not letting my anxieties keep me from doing things because um, up to Kanazawa, I didn't want to go into restaurants, especially in Sapporo, because there were no tourists in Sapporo. Um, but here I don't feel as bad because they're used to tourists more here. Surprisingly, I didn't think it was going to be very touristy in Kanazawa, but there's definitely more people in Kanazawa than Sapporo, which doesn't really surprise me because Sapporo is kind of a pain to get to. But it was worth it. I really like Sapporo. Just didn't like the snow. But I've been too scared to walk in because my Japanese really isn't good. I've been so humbled with my studies. I still don't know absolutely anything. Um, and it's kind of made me reevaluate how I want to go about studying because I've went by the book for so long, but like none of that matters if you can't communicate with people. Like, oh great, I know how to say I've had the experience of going to this place. Like the amount of times that's come up in conversation, the only time I've ever said that here was when I was trying to talk to my friend in Japanese and I just busted that out because I was like, I know how to say this. But like someone talks to me and I'm like, I, yeah, hi, hi. There's been so many times where I've just kind of assumed what they were saying. Um, Convenience stores I gotten better because like there's like it's a drop down menu of things they're gonna say to you like, do you want a bag? Do you want this heated up? Like or like they say they total like ni go do and this I don't know, but it's been fun. I haven't spent a lot of money, and right now I'm on track to be coming home with a good amount of money. I do want my one of my last days. I want to get Wagyu, and I'm on track to be able to do that. Thankfully, and I also need to probably get some gifts for people. I'd look like kind of an ass if I didn't. But I'll probably just wait to do that the day I leave. No offense to anybody, but like I I kind of want to gauge how much bag space I have. And it's hard to do now because I've bought some CDs, but that's really been it. So, um, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about my trip so far. But it's I already feel like I've learned a lot about myself through solo travel, and I'm finally getting used to being. Oh, the camera's gonna be shaking the entire time because my hand's shaking. That's awful. Um, that sucks. That's so bad. So sorry. I just realized my camera's been shaking this entire time. So we're gonna be up close and personal. What? Um, so I've learned a lot about myself, and this is the longest I've been alone for. I've been alone for 3 weeks now, and yeah, I haven't been able to rely on people to. I mean, I have because the only time I've really went out has been with people I know. Like I made a couple friends, and that's why I ended up going out. But I can't rely on that all the time. And just recently, I've been able to like go to restaurants and like not feel as anxious about it because usually people are pretty understanding that foreigners come there, especially here, and especially the place I'm going to be going next. So I'm not. I've been a lot more experimental with food, but I haven't spent a lot of money because food over here is pretty reasonable for the most part. And I finally got my first ramen yesterday. I got my first okonomiyaki yesterday. So yeah, man, I've eaten a lot of good food, but that's to be expected when you're here. So this was kind of a ramble, but I wanted to give you guys a update. This will probably go out when I'm in Nagoya, so exciting stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all. Well, I've been up since 1 in the morning. Day two. I got sleep. I got like 5 hours of sleep. And I went to walk to the train station to buy a ticket, and then I didn't have my bags on me because I was like, I'm just gonna come back for them. Because I looked online and the tickets weren't available until like 7:50 or something, and it's 7 now. So I was just gonna walk back and grab my bags because walking all that with my bags not very fun. So yeah, I just but then I got there and the tickets weren't available, so I'm gonna have to ride the main subway with both my bags and be a really big asshole. So I'm just gonna eat my donut and coffee, and see you guys hopefully later. Bye. Hi everybody. It is my third day in Japan, second full day. Um, I finally feel like I'm getting acclimated a little bit. I was able to get some sleep. I was able to get some sleep earlier this morning. Finally, I slept from like 9 to 4:30, 9:30 to 4:30. And when I checked the time, I was like, it's gonna be like midnight, isn't it? But it was 4:30. I got 7 hours of sleep. Let's go. Um, and I apologize about the camera angles. I didn't bring my um, tripod for my phone because I wasn't sure if it was allowed on the plane. In retrospect, I'm sure it was. But what's in here? Hmm, that's neat. Sorry, I'm distracted. Um, so yesterday was really tough. Um, the first day here, I got in at like 4 and I was just so tired and dead to the world. And then yesterday morning, well, I listened to Chromacopia. I stayed up and listened to Chromacopia, and then after that, I showered and went to bed, and I only slept for like 4 hours. Um, but then I woke up at like 1, um, and I stayed up, or I just like literally did F all for like 6 hours, and then, or no, it was like 4 hours. And then I went out at like 5 in the morning, um, and listened to Chromacopia again, and this time I could actually like somewhat take it in. I wasn't like brain dead, brain off. So my brain was a little on. It was it was getting there. Um, but I'll tell you my thoughts about that later. But yeah, it was nice. I went on a walk in the morning, and then I'll throw some pics there. And I walked to the Narita station, and I was gonna like buy a ticket for the Narita Express, but they didn't have any, so I walked back. um, and then I took my bags to the train, and then that began the hell that yesterday was. It was a rough day. If I had to compare yesterday to any day of my trip last time, it was by far, I don't want to say worst day. It wasn't like a bad day. I'm in Japan at the end of the day. Like I can't complain. But um I'm on vacation, like, but I it was rough. It rained for a good chunk of the day. I left around like 7 in the morning for the train, and then or like 7:30. And then once I was on the train, I literally didn't get home. I had my bags on me for like 7 hours, and it was really tough. It was really tough. Um, and my shoulders still hurt from yesterday. I'll throw my stats up on my watch because it tracks it. Man, I still am recovering a bit. I'm still a little spacey, um, but I'm getting better. I um, yeah, coffee helps. And yeah, I got my vaccine yesterday. It was kind of cool to experience a Japanese hospital. They're so uniform and like organized. Not that ours really aren't, but it was just kind of cool. Not really different from us, but also kind of different. I don't know. The billing system was definitely the weirdest. But then after that, I just went home, or I went back. Or yeah, I was sorry. after that, I still had my bags for the next like 5 hours. And I couldn't get into my place and it started raining, so I just hung out in the park for a little bit and then I went to McDonald's and just sat in there for like an hour and a half and it sucked. Um, but then I got to my place and then it started raining harder and I still needed to grab, I just like sat here and rested for a little bit. And then I went back out because I needed saline spray for my nose because it was super dry for whatever reason. And it was raining even harder. And I got really wet, but I got my saline spray. Shout out. What is this? Dry nose spray. Mm. Um, so I'm still tired. You can hear it in my voice. But we're good. I just had a BLT sandwich. In a couple hours. I'm gonna have my lesson with my tutor, and yeah, I'm very tired. But just taking it easy today. Tomorrow I'm gonna meet up with my friend and also carry my bags, hopefully for less longer. I'm gonna leave here like at 11 because I don't have to be I don't have to be anywhere at 11 like last time, and it's a lot less of a trip. It was like 2 hours from Narita to this place, and next it'll be like 30 minutes to Shinjuku. So God bless. So I'm gonna get to Shinjuku Station and try to put my bags in a coin locker. My only concern is that it's going to be really busy because it's Halloween, and we'll see. We'll see. I want to get my bags in a coin locker and not have to worry about them, and just yeah. I just wanna. This next place I don't have to move for like the weekend, so I didn't really plan Tokyo very well if I could go back and do it. Um, I don't even know what I would do. Um, I guess I would just, I don't know. I'm staying at 5 different places. Like that's, and with 2 big ass bags, that's not ideal. Um, but yeah, I'm getting acclimated. I got 7 hours of sleep, so it's getting better, and my sleep schedule is getting more normal. It's still not good, and my brain is slowly recovering. um, yeah, I will catch up you guys later. I'm just gonna chill out for a little bit. I got a big ass bottle of water that I'm currently standing this camera up on, and this is going to be drank right now. So, see you later, guys. Oh, this will be on Patreon. I'm joking. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, bye.